Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Sunday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. It is January 2nd, 2021. Let's get started right now. First up, schools nationwide struggle to deal with COVID surge. Let's take a listen to that video from CBS News.
It's a great day to help people customize and save with Liberty Mutual. Whoa.
Schools are scheduled to resume classes tomorrow after the holiday break, but the spike in COVID cases among children has some teachers and parents questioning what to do next. CBS's Tom Hansen has that part of the story tonight from New York. Tom, good evening.
Hey there, Jerika. Good evening to you. The rush is on to get students and faculty tested before heading back to the classroom. Here in New York, more than 5 million COVID tests have been distributed to public schools like this one, and as many as 8 million more are on the way. As millions of kids head back to class tomorrow, the new year is bringing a new uncertainty. Parents spending hours in line for testing, often confused about school guidance and protocols that vary district to district and even school to school. Many worry their kids are at risk.
They got to use the same bathroom, the same lunchroom, so you're still exposing back everybody to COVID.
More than 2,000 K-12 schools have already closed or will offer remote learning, but most of America's major school systems will resume this week by teaching in person while they can.
If the teachers we have are coming down with the virus, who's going to teach the students?
In this COVID crash course, testing is key. Dr. Matthew Harris is a physician at Northwell Health in New Hyde Park, New York. We're seeing a scramble to get rapid tests and PCRs to students and faculty ahead of their return tomorrow. Is testing enough?
I think testing in combination with robust vaccination programs adds a valuable tool to the arsenal.
Schools in Seattle and Washington, D.C. have extended their winter breaks, using the time to distribute thousands of rapid tests to students and faculty. Baltimore will provide on-site PCR tests to schools with outbreaks, and California will provide 1 to 2 tests per student ahead of tomorrow's reopening. Now, other schools are hunkering down as the Omicron wave sweeps across the country. More than 8 school districts in New Jersey are going remote, and Atlanta schools are doing the same. Jerika, experts predict that the wave will peak around mid-January.
Wow, Tom, all of it is such a risk, which is what makes it so difficult for parents. Thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Judge strikes down President Joe Biden's vaccine mandate. Let's take a listen to that video from CBS News.
Federal judge has ruled that President Biden cannot require teachers and federal Head Start early education programs to be vaccinated against COVID. The ruling is considered a victory for the 24 states that sued the Biden administration. Meanwhile, the surge in the Omicron variant of the coronavirus shows no signs of slowing down. The average number of new daily cases is more than 386,000. Hospitalizations are also rising, but slowly. CBS's Mark Strassman has more.
A new year in our COVID chronicles, welcomed by maskless Floridians with this super spreaders jamboree. Risky behavior, even reckless. Like many New Year's resolutions, COVID records get broken daily.
The speed at which Omicron is spreading is staggering.
Take these jarring U.S. numbers. A new average of 356,000 new cases a day. That's 4 more cases every second. On Thursday, 16 states reported their highest total ever.
The numbers we're seeing, put that mask on and keep it on through January, at least, honestly.
More ominously, those numbers could be fractional. Driving this epidemic, people who are undiagnosed, either asymptomatic or mildly symptomatic, but untested.
This place is so busy.
It's so packed. We have patients coming in all the time.
More worry spots, hospitals overwhelmed by sick patients and sick staff.
The majority of these people are not vaccinated. I can't get them out of the frickin' waiting room. I can't get the sick people out of the waiting room to get them away from these people with COVID.
On COVID's front lines, the Pentagon has sent reinforcements into hospitals in Wisconsin, Montana, and Michigan. Many doctors say avoid going to the ER, often a COVID hotbed, especially for children.
If you're going to have people getting together and you have children that are unvaccinated, they will be the bullseye for Omicron.
Across COVID America last week, almost 400 children a day were hospitalized for the virus. That's a 66% increase from the week before.
Probably seeing 4 to 5 times the number of children who are currently in my ICU.
Here in Georgia, testing shows the positivity rate now pushes 40%. It's so high, Atlanta Public Schools just decided to hold virtual classes this week when the kids come back on Tuesday. Jerika?
Mark, thank you.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Holiday air travel in 2021 up 184% from previous year. Let's take a listen to that video from CBS News.
Will you brace for the cold, or will you welcome it? Will you sit this one out?
As the long holiday weekend wraps up, some travelers are literally at a standstill. More than 2,400 flights have been canceled today alone. That's according to FlightAware, a website that tracks air travel. On the ground, it's not much better, with severe weather adding to the travel woes. CBS's Tom Wade is in Los Angeles with the very latest. Tom, it really looks like there are two major factors at play here.
Good evening to you, Jerika. That's right. Omicron and storms are making it a struggle for millions of Americans to get home. Drivers are delayed and flyers are frustrated on this record travel day. The rush to return home is turning into a day of disruptions. Americans are facing full freeways and jam-packed airports, with bad weather and Omicron-fueled staff shortages giving travelers a holiday headache.
Sat on the tarmac for an hour and a half.
Holiday air travel is up 184% from 2020. This as flight delays and cancellations pile up across the country. At Chicago's Midway International Airport, winter weather forced more than half of flights to be scrapped. How long do you think it will take the airlines to rebound from the delays and cancellations over the holidays?
Well, that's a tough call. It really kind of depends on how they can work through their staffing, and also with the weather. It's really taking a hard hit on the airlines. We hope we can get through in the next week or two, but it's going to take some time, I think.
Jeff Spring of AAA says holiday road travel is also at near pre-pandemic levels. From 2020, it's jumped 28%, even as packed roads and dangerous wet and icy conditions slow many down. Well, are people hitting the roads like you expected them to?
It was one of the busiest travel holidays on record. Nationwide, not just hitting the roads, but all over different kinds of travel formats. And that's the most in nearly 20 years since AAA started doing this tracking.
Those record-breaking travel numbers are stressing many Americans trying to get home.
Last year, I was traveling. There was no one here, which was kind of eerie. So I like to see the people, but this is a lot of people.
And experts say pandemic fatigue is one reason why so many people are hitting the road. But Omicron could change those numbers in the coming days and weeks. Jerika?
All right. Thank you, Tom.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And we are going to switch gears now, and let's go into weather. Snowstorm expected in the Northeast. Let's take a listen to that video from CBS News.
Well, the exceptionally mild weather in parts of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic states is about to end. A fast-moving storm is expected to bring about 1 to 4 inches of snow from Charlottesville, Virginia, to central New Jersey and east of New York City. Snow will continue through tomorrow morning.
Okay, and there you go on that video. And now let's take a look at tonight's forecast. And here is a look at tonight's forecast. Boston, 24 degrees. New York City, 30 degrees. Washington, D.C., 32 degrees. Atlanta, 33 degrees. Jacksonville, Florida, 50 degrees. Tampa Bay, Florida, 60 degrees. Miami, Florida, 69 degrees. In Dallas, 25 degrees. In Phoenix, 37 degrees. Los Angeles, 39 degrees. San Francisco, 45 degrees. And Las Vegas, 28 degrees. That is a look at tonight's forecast. And that does it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great evening and see you back here tomorrow evening for another broadcast. Good night and goodbye.